I've been at one with me, Lou.
CFR Network, CFR News. Good day, good night. Shalom, balance, paradise. Got a special guest with me. Diligently working hard in the lab, keeping the build local. I got the supreme one with me right here now. Bobby Noodles,
Come on.
extraordinaire, DJ and everything in between. Welcome to the broadcast, sibling. What it do?
Well, I'm happy to be here. Just like he says, we try and do everything in here. Like for ourselves, for our mind. That's what we do it for our mind, not for your mind, for our mind. Like that.
Definite, boss, definite. So I gave you a real brief introduction, man. Please do elaborate, you know what I mean, and give the listeners and the siblings a bit more of who you are, man, and what you're doing.
All right, then. So if you're from this part of the world, what we call the West Midlands, Birmingham, UK, England, um, I've been a DJ forever. When I say forever, ever, like forever, ever. So I've been on radios, like all of the top pirate radio stations. Been a club DJ. I've been a tour DJ. I played around the world. I've championed UK music before it was popular. I'm now championing the next sound before it's popular. So yeah, like if you're in the scene or you're in that musical world or something, you would know about me or one of my entities, like Champions in Action, Immortal Sound. Yeah, we've done a lot still in my young age.
Give thanks, give thanks. The brothers on the move, steadily progressing, moving forward, growth and development. That's what we like to hear.
Yes.
Especially being from the city where we are. You know what I mean? We need those little lights to shine bright as possible. You know what I mean?
Like it's one thing what I rate about our city, even though a lot of people say it's one of the hardest cities to break in whatever talent you have, it's one of the realest cities where we will love you, but they love you from far, but they love you, if that makes
Yes,
sense. Like nobody from out of town can talk bad about a Birmingham person, but a Birmingham person can talk bad about a Birmingham person. Best way to put it.
100. It's an interesting kind of city that we got still. Second city, aka the first city, you know what I mean, in my eyes. Olden
Mhm.
days, Mercia was the
Yeah,
capital of the UK and shit, we there, Mercia,
yeah.
West Midlands. So yeah, no. Um, but you do highlight a good point, man, that that if it's not direct, people are
Yeah,
peeping it. You know what I mean? People are definitely peeping it. And
of course.
I would encourage the people them that who are peeping it from afar to make your presence known, to show
But
the
can I?
love outwardly.
But can I show you a flip side of it? Like, um, going fast forward to like one of my newest ventures that I'm doing right now. I get more love from out of towners with this venture than I do from my city. My city only shout me out on this venture that I'm doing when out of town shouts me out. That's the flip side of it.
Listen, I know the thing, boss. I know the thing. It's the weirdest thing how many links we've got and how many people then we know in Brum. And as you say, with your particular new venture that you're doing, you're getting more highlighted and more spotlighted, more love, more recognition from outside of this little circumference that we got. And it's the
Yeah,
same thing with the podcast, man. I get so much more interaction and love from outside of the city, and never mind outside the city, outside of the country. So
yeah,
I I,
yeah.
I I
Outside the
enjoy
world.
but the world's a big place, man. People think say Abram and UK is it? Nah, 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 nah. This is a big plane of existence that we're upon.
No, 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 no. Listen, we're old school travelers. We've been traveling from you could smoke Benson and Hedges on planes at the back. We've been traveling for ages. We're old school travelers. The world is a big place. But we have to sort out our things in our base first. That's one thing what I've always says. Sort out your home first, innit?
Facts, facts. So you've clearly always had this drive musically. Where did that all come from, sibling?
I've really and truly, I think it was just my my gift from the man above or the God inside me. It's
Mm-hmm.
just raw, just been my gift. It's been my natural gift. Like some people are naturally good at singing. That's your natural gift. Some people are naturally good at building things. That's their natural gift. My natural gift is music, and it's just in me. That's the best way I can explain it. Wasn't passed down or handed to me. It's just raw in me.
So on the come up, what were we listening to? What so actually let's make this more specific. Genre wise, what
Yeah,
was the first kind of genre that you was jamming as an early teenager?
I could even go back to when I was listening to what my mum was listening to or my uncle was listening to. I was listening to Parliament, Funk, George
Okay.
Clinton,
Yeah,
Bootsy
yeah.
Collins.
Mm.
That's what I grew up on. Diana Ross and them things. I grew up on
Luther,
that music, and then I would go. Yeah, now these are before Luther days. Like I'm talking like. Remember, I'm
'70s.
old. I'm a '70s baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I grew up on disco. Does that make sense? I
Okay.
have memories of seeing people in flares.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Get
Earth,
me?
Wind,
So
and
I
Fire.
grew, yeah, I grew up on that vibe, but then like on my dad's side of the spectrum, I'll be listening to man like Gregory Isaac, Peter Tosh, all them revolutionary Rasta music. Does that make sense? Black Euro and them things. So it was a mixture of both.
Yes, well-rounded, well-rounded. So was your dad Ras as well, or was just listen to the roots and culture?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes. So
1,000%.
man's had a clearly had a nice and good solid foundation because because of your when you were born 70s baby, all right. As you don't know, when you start being an 80s baby, 90s baby, that foundation ain't there. There ain't no
Now
pops
that yeah,
jamming no damn roots and culture into the yards, yeah? There's no PCRL on the radio for you to, you know what I mean, to get your Sunday rhythms, yeah?
so I was listening to on my way to school. I used to always listen to on my way to school. It was two albums, Public Enemy or Easy E.
Mm.
They were my soundtrack to my youth. Jumping on the bus every day to school. I'll be listening to Easy E or Public Enemy. Then,
Walkman days you going
like
back,
later
right?
on in the years, I got the Snoop Dogg album. When I got the Snoop Doggy Dogg album, then that changed a lot of things as well. But rap, hip hop was my music that I listened to the hardest in my teens. That was my first music, and then it was the ragga bashment sound clash aspect after that.
Scenery. Yes, yes. I remember when that Doggy Style album first came out. I think I got my copy from Virgin. Remember when Virgin used to be on
Come
the
on, exactly.
Yes. Changed up a lot, man.
Classic
And
material.
so I'm kind of like in a place where musically, especially back then and that time, sort of
Mm.
early mid 90s onwards, West Coast seemed to be proliferated in Brum, and I didn't necessarily realize that until a
Yeah.
bit later on. Where do you think that comes from? How do you think that West Coast influence was so much embedded in Brum?
You know what I think it was from? Young TV raps. These are things what played a pinnacle in our lives. If you're from that era of school and then your MTV raps, the only place you could hear rap music on the weekend, whatever they played, you followed, you went, you got. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that's how I seen it. That's how I got introduced to Dre, Snoop, and
Snoop,
then
yeah.
things like my family was from New York, so I could have easily been listening to like Black Panther and all them things. But my preference is what I saw on TV. If I saw one video on TV, let me go research that artist. So that's how I think one was like turned out to that sort of sound. Yo
Mm.
MTV rap.
That's a good point still. That is a good point because at that time there was a lot more West influence on there. Initially, as
Yeah,
you don't know, it was brand Nubian, you
yeah.
know, all of that.
Try
Until
Call
as I s
Quest. Like you
yes.
know, you're like you gotta think about it. You had like De La Soul, Brand New, and Tricore Quest. They were like the smart rappers, in it.
Yeah. Intelligent. That
But if I wanted to see a rapper that looked like me and my friends, I want to look at Snoop. I want to look at Dre and them. Does that make sense? We've got the same sort of dress sense. We related a bit more, if that makes sense.
yes, 100%, 100%. And also it was a different
So
sound.
it's just like how yeah. And to say that it's just like how the youth now identify with drill over Kendrick Lamar because drill artists look like them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you see with that though, and we should never blame the music, but the music does have plays a massive part in regards to shaping and
Yeah, of
molding young minds. So within
course it
drill,
does. Of course it does.
you know how powerful music is, simply. You don't know the thing already.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's incumbent on the artist to have some balance, man, within their thing. We can see
All
what
right
I
then.
want.
All right then. Side question. This is just a quick question. Yeah. You know, one film that turned out the whole. Sometimes I wish they never even made this film, and it would have saved so many lives. What film am I talking about? What turned
Menace,
out so many. Thank you.
Menace to
I saw
society.
many society turn out so much of my people. I seen
Mm,
people like one day the normal, and the next day every area had an old dog.
yep. Hmm.
I'm a lying.
Just facts.
Power the
Facts.
powerful. Imagine if Menace never come out, how many lives would have been saved?
It changed a generation, man. And then from there, that was the blueprint
It
of
changed a whole generation, yeah?
mm,
Yeah,
turned it upside down. I mean,
yeah.
even
Old dog
listen,
is the godfather to
yes, to all this what we see now, man, the prototype. I mean, if we rewind a little bit
mm.
before, we had Boys in the Hood, but even with Boys in the Hoods, we had Lawrence
There wasn't a role
Fishburne.
model. Yeah,
No,
yeah, but there
no,
wasn't a role model in
there
Boys in
wasn't
the
the
Hood.
no, I agree with you, sibling, but when we can go back as adults and watch it and we see Larry
Mm.
driving up and he's talking about gentrification and
Yeah,
there were jewels in there, but the
yes,
jewels
yes,
were, you know what I mean? So but they were there, but the overarching thing of the something was gangbanging. It was the
yeah,
street
yeah,
life
yeah.
thing. So that's all we was concentrating. Oh, Larry was just talking some
Mm.
positive, some pro-black stuff,
Yeah,
and we didn't even like, at that stage we were just
yeah,
into the gangster shit. Like, yeah, I
yeah.
don't know about that.
I just want to hear when they go Ricky at the end. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, man, that it
Sweet.
shaped a
Yeah,
generation,
but
man.
sorry to go in that sorry to go in that sidebar, but that just popped into my head because we're just
No,
having a
no,
conversation like
of
we do on
course,
this
man.
platform.
Yeah, man. This is what it's about, man. This is what it's about. But again, that's the moving arts, the spoken arts. Those things. It's a balance, man. And we as people, and especially as entertainers, realize what the power in the tongue has. So
Power of it.
okay,
Thank you.
right,
Thank
we're
you.
gonna make these tunes, right? What influence is that gonna have? Like, if I'm gonna make a 13 track album, how much murder and death is gonna be on there?
Yeah.
You know, because
How much souls is gonna get lost to this?
this is the thing. This is the thing. Now I got a talent, and I got talented producers and mixers and stuff. Let me try and do something different, man. Let me, we can do some baller rap. How about me just talk about me flossing like a mother and me flying
But look,
out this place and that place? Yeah, man, that could inspire some people, yeah?
it, it, it can be done, but this is what it is. Sometimes you can't. All right, then you gotta look at it like this, especially when we're talking about music, because it's a touchy subject. Because music is somebody's poetry.
Hmm.
Music is somebody's diary. It's
Hmm.
somebody's emotions, what they were going through at that time. You can't wrong a person for feeling how they're feeling. Cause I don't know how nobody wakes up, just like they don't know how I wake up or get up. So if I want to get up one day and say F the world or F anything that's green, you can't wrong me because you don't know why I've said it. And
Yes.
who who are we to judge anybody? that's that's the first thing. Like, I want to get deep in this conversation. Let me move on with my story. So boom, hear this now, peep game, yeah. we're at like where I'm listening to hip hop and that in it. Yeah. And
Hmm.
then like if you're from the West Midlands, you know that we've got a big um Jamaican community. So
Hmm.
sound system in Birmingham back in them days it was that's what everybody was, a sound boy. So from me listening to hip hop, I learned the art of scratching and DJing. From that, I implemented it into playing bashment on ragga sounds and that. And then from the ragga sounds, that's where I got to clash a load of. I've been in World Cup clashes. I've been all over the world clashing sounds with the dub plate things. So that was one of the journeys. Like that's one of the stepping stones that's led me to where I am today.
Give thanks. So come on, uh, let's explore some of these places, man. What's some of the places that you've clashed at, country wise?
Uh, done all of Europe, done Jamaica, England. I haven't done America. The
Okay.
the best place I've ever been, though, where I could actually say in my life is Finland.
A few people I've heard say Finland is kind of cool still, and
Oh
the
my,
seats.
yeah, it's cool, nice scenery, calm, collect, a lot of daylight. I don't know. That was one place that actually stood out. It always stands out. I always say Finland. Yeah, but we've been done the Jamaicans. Yeah, we've done like this. We've done a lot with the sound. Does that make sense? And I'm so
Mm.
glad that the sound is still playing, and we've got a new generation playing the sound now at a high potential.
What's the name of the sound?
Immortal sound.
Give thanks. Give thanks. So, what was the vibe like in Finland? So the aesthetics were all cool. Holy for daylight. What was the vibe like when you were playing?
You know that have you ever been somebody where there's probably only seven of your color, but
Regular.
they're treating you like they're supposed to treat your color? Does that make sense? You're getting treated like a king out there, like you're supposed to. You're getting treated like there was none of this history that happened to people of our skin color. They're
Hmm.
treating us how we're supposed to be treated,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
royalty.
Yes, yes. You see the respect, and you see, and this is the thing. This is, and it shouldn't just be based upon the entertainment, musical
Yeah,
aspect of it. It should just this should just be standard protocol. If we're
yes,
cool people, we ain't trying to harm you, we ain't trying to do anything. Yo, just let us live, man. We're cool, you're
yep.
cool. If we're trying to do you something, then obviously you gotta put your guard up. You know what I mean?
That's what it is. But one thing what I know, you also gotta know. You gotta be real and know what it is and be real to what it isn't it. So I know that I'm getting this special treatment because of what I've been told to come there to do. If I was just the average person, I'd be treated different. So you gotta give thanks for these opportunities. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, go and get me a drink if you want. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
I'll make
Hmm.
the most of it.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. The perks, the
Trust me.
perks. Most def. And obviously you're doing your the Hot 92 thing as well, right?
Yeah. So from playing on the bashment sound and reggae sound. After after I achieved all of my goals personally, like I said to myself, what else can I do? And always, I'm always one person who, if there's a youth coming up in something, I don't mind stepping back because there's only so much times I can do the same thing until it becomes repetitive, in it. So why not give the youth of today a chance to do what they're doing? So I step back. The next set youths come through the sound and they're doing what they're doing. Then like I've just set up my own entity where me and a collective of friends, we just make our own music. We've got our own sound where we just control our own destiny. That's the best way we can say.
And how is that manifesting in the physical?
How is it manifesting in the physical? Well,
Mm.
we've been working on it for over 5 years, and
Okay.
it's and my motto is, if it's not for you, it's okay because not everything's for me. Does that make
Mm,
sense? So
100.
it's not a thing that I force on everybody. If you like it, you can, yeah, here's music, here's where we are, here's where we're playing. If you don't like it, oh, good, I'll see you after. That is my
Yes.
motto. The next motto is like what we say to like all the producers that we work with in our camp. If you do not feel like making no music, no man can force you to make music. Make it when you want to make it. If you don't want to release music, don't release it. Release it. It's your spirit. It's a part of you. So nothing is under. We have to do this. We don't do things to our timeline. Does that make sense? We do things to our timeline,
Yes.
our soul.
When it was ordained